Hey guys, so last week was pretty adventurous. I went to Tokyo like so much. I felt like I just lived in Tokyo. The biggest thing was I met up with Sharla and Toph, and we played Pokemon, and we had lunch and just talked. Just old friends in general. Just meeting up and just having fun. We love Pokemon, so it's always a reason to meet up. And then just eating and just talking and just thinking about what we're going to do in 2018 and so forth, and moving forward, with YouTube, Twitch, and so forth. At that time is when I thought that Twitch would probably be something I wanted to look into doing soon. I'm not too sure when I'm going to start that up, but it's one of my New Year's resolutions to do Twitch, so I would be able to stream different things. I'm going to do it like a radio show, like I said. So when I get like new music in, I'll play some of the new music that I have, and then any like requests that I do have, or just like music in general that I listen to on a regular, because I'm always listening to music, I'll just play, and then everybody can just listen to it, and you can just see what you think about different things, and we can talk about different things. Anything you want to talk about, we'll be able to talk about, pretty much. I mean, as long as it's in the realm of what. Not anything mean or rude, I guess, because that's not me. I don't want to say anything mean or rude about anybody, or tread along that kind of conversation where it's getting like too bad, kind of. But like good conversations, anything about Japan, anything about myself, anything you want to say about yourself, so forth, like that. Like, I don't know, the typical radio show. Maybe I'll think of like questions of the day, and then anybody can just answer the question and so forth, and then in between that, it's just going to be like music and so forth. I might also do some gaming. I'm not too sure about the gaming yet, because it's been a while since I've gamed, so it may not be as good as I used to be, but maybe some gaming too, and then anything else that people could come up with, or anyone thinks I would be good at doing, or so forth, I'll try to do. The streaming outside, I really want to do the streaming outside. I'm not too sure how that'll work, because it may get a little fuzzy and a little laggy, and everybody's like, I can't even tell what's going on. So that's a problem, because the Wi-Fi isn't as good in Japan, it seems, as in other places. I think the fastest Wi-Fi zone is supposed to be Korea, but I've heard that it's not always fast too, so I'm not too sure. But we'll try to figure that out, so everybody can, see Japan too. Maybe streaming would be a lot funner. I'm going to still do a video, so it's going to probably be like streaming plus videos at the same time. And yeah, we're just going to go from there. Anything else anybody wants to know, you can just always ask me. If there's anything you would like to see me do, always just comment or something of that sort, and then I'll read them, obviously, and answer them, because that's what I do. And then just move on from there. Besides that, it was kind of sad, because the last holidays I had when I was actually in Japan, since there was so many foreigners around me since I came to school here, even though I wasn't able to hang out with so many Japanese people during that time, there was just so many foreigners around me that I guess I never felt like too much alone. We had like our little Thanksgiving, and I think we had tacos for that when I came that first year, 5 years ago. We did like tacos and stuff, and there was just so many like parties that we had together, like dance parties, and I love to dance. So there was like a lot of that going on, that I guess I never really felt alone or anything like that, even though my main focus till this day was, obviously, I came here to build up my Japanese and to meet Japanese people, hopefully, and to become friends with some Japanese people. Not too sure how long I would be in Japan. Well, during that time, I want to be here forever, but moving on, it's just like I just want to be able to have fun with people around my age, and develop my Japanese. But obviously there's always a roadblock in that, even when I was here 5 years ago. But I was getting close to some Japanese people, and made a lot of different Japanese friends, but because school ended, everybody went their separate ways, so nobody's even in Tokyo anymore. So that kind of sucks, because I would like to meet up with some of them, but everyone's like bada bada, just everywhere, separated pretty much. But even during that time, even though I wasn't able to hang out with Japanese people as much as I wanted to, or not like a lot, since I had like so many foreigners around me, there was always something fun to do, and we always tried to do something. You know, we had our Christmas party, and I had that with the Hungarians, so there was a lot of different Hungarian food that they cooked, and like that was wonderful. And we exchanged gifts, and then like I said, for Thanksgiving we had like a taco Thanksgiving. That was pretty interesting. I mean, because like nobody really makes tacos in Japan, so it's like going out to Costco to try to get like a taco seasoning because it's not sold everywhere and so forth. So that was pretty like amazing because I mean, who doesn't want tacos? You know, and not taco as an octopus. I do love octopus, but like I really want tacos. I love Spanish food. I miss Spanish food actually, but yeah. I really want tacos, not taco as an octopus. I had it a lot recently, you know, but this time around, I don't have anybody really close to me, like in the vicinity, you know, and then other people have their families and so forth like that. So I couldn't really meet up with too many people for like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and so forth. So it is kind of sad because like, damn, I want to do something, you know, but I wasn't able to. You know, but then my boss invited me over for New Year's, and I was so excited because I'm like, yes, I get to leave the house. So, you know, I went out and I went to her house for Thanksgiving, for New Year's, and it was pretty amazing. There was supposed to be a group of people that was supposed to show up, about 10, I think. Obviously it ended up being 3. Nobody came. It was so sad because I was like, oh, she cooked so much food for everybody, and nobody came. I was like, wow, except for one other lady. She was Chinese. So it was me, her, and then my boss son. And then obviously I feel like every time there's foreigners around, it always leads down the topic of not being able to make friends in Japan. What happened is they had a conversation about one of their friends' daughters who's Chinese, but they came to Japan, and she graduated from school, but the whole conversation was based off of her ability to speak Japanese, and they were talking about her being able to enter into a kaisha, or a company, because she graduated from a Japanese school. So my boss was like, her Japanese must be good. I mean, she graduated from a Japanese school. But the other lady was trying to tell her, like, she graduated from a Japanese school, but I don't think her Japanese is that good because she's not able to make Japanese friends. Like, she's tried, but nobody her age wants to pretty much hang out with her or talk to her or so forth. And she would give me that look like, you know, kind of like, you know. And like, I was giving her that look like, yeah, I know. But like, I was kind of over having that conversation. I've had it so much with so many Japanese people recently, and obviously a lot of them got sad about it, I want to say. Some say they understand, but obviously they really don't understand, you know. And they try to prove that maybe it's this instead of this, and I'm saying, like, no, it's actually this, and I could prove that's why, and then I'm just like, oh, you know, that's why one guy, he was talking to me, but then he told, like, our in-between friend, which was my other boss son, that my Japanese prejudice was strong, so he didn't really want to meet up anymore. But then I told him, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that, you know, that I offended you or made you sad. And then he's like, you didn't make me sad. But I'm like, wait, what? Like, how do I not make you sad when you went to go tell my boss on that my prejudice was too strong, meaning you were, like, sad about it? But he was talking to me as if he wanted to continue the conversation. So I was like, I don't understand what is going on here. You're saying, like, oh, his prejudice of Japanese people is too strong to somebody else, but then you're trying to have the conversation with me, which you started to begin with. So I'm like, why even start the conversation and continue the conversation if you're going to tell somebody else that, oh, like, he's not as, I'm basically saying, like, maybe not as nice as he thought, or so forth. But I don't know, that was just so much, and I was just like, well, and I was like over that too, because I'm like, why even try to have the conversation with me, which is generally what everybody wants to know when you go to a foreign country, obviously, is how do you like the foreign country? Like, how's it treating you? And I don't like to lie, so I'm going to tell you what is on my mind. But then if you don't want to hear it, then I feel like it's best like not to even ask to begin with, or that topic, you know, because it's not what you really want to hear. Like, if you only want to hear like it's good, it's amazing, like that's obviously not going to happen unless that place is just like, you know, like heaven or something. You know, if it's not that, I can't really tell you. Like, there's gonna be it's bad and it's good. And obviously I love everything about Japan. It's just I have trouble meeting people my age. That's the only problem. Just people my age. But besides that, obviously I wouldn't be here if I didn't love it, you know. And I told him that, but I guess he wasn't feeling it or whatever, even though he didn't tell me that to my face. So that was it. So that whole conversation with her and her talking about their friend's daughter graduating, you know, but not being able to meet Japanese people, I feel like it's just the biggest thing in Japan. It's just not being able to make Japanese friends. And foreigners all know it, but Japanese people don't. And sometimes they assume they do know what's going on, but they don't at times, because they try to make excuses for why maybe that's not possible or something. So it's like, oh, you're trying to find a way to prove me wrong, but everybody's having the same issue, so it can't be me being wrong. It's just something about the society, really, you know. Maybe they're just not as open as people would like to think, you know. But she kept giving me like those looks, like you know. And I'm like, yes, like I hope there's sometimes like, yeah, it's hard because like even my main focus for coming here was to improve my Japanese. But if I don't have the chance to really talk in Japanese, it's never gonna get better. And that's what she was leaning on or focusing on. It was the fact that the daughter is not able to talk to anybody in Japanese. So even if she graduated from a Japanese university, it doesn't mean that her Japanese is good, because she can't even talk to anybody with it. So obviously she's going to struggle with words and so forth when it actually comes to having a conversation, you know. So, you know, that happened. Obviously there was all the food, so we ate a lot of different food, you know, and I had my taste test and so forth of so many different things. But there was also like the side conversation about that, and I was like, oh, I've had this conversation so much, like I've been trying to just leave the conversation, because I'm like, I need to leave that behind in 2017. Like, there's just no point of having this all the time, you know. If it's something you want to know, like, yeah, I'll just tell you, like, yeah, it's not the best thing, but I just don't want to go down that road anymore, because only so many people can handle it. If you're a foreigner, another foreigner, then obviously you're going to be able to handle it. But if you're not, then majority of the time you're probably going to get offended by it. And I don't really want to offend anybody, so it's probably best if I just leave that alone, like, going forward. But besides that, we had a wonderful meal. I got karage. Love karage. I love food in general. So, I mean, I was happy. And then the other lady left because she had to get home. I'm not too sure why. But I just said bye. And she said, oh, I hope we meet again. I said, oh, okay, hope to meet you again too. And then from then on, like, I didn't know, because I was like, should I leave too? Because it was already like going on 9 o'clock. And then my boss usually goes to sleep at like 7. So I felt really, really bad, because it was like, it's already 9. She goes to bed at 7 and wakes up at like 2 a.m. But she's like, no, let's watch TV. And I'm like, she's like, you like TV? And I was like, well, I don't really watch TV, but okay, you know. And then we watch TV. And they always have a New Year's show in Japan. So it was different artists coming up, and they would sing and dance, like, I guess probably like the best song for the year. The top of singers in Japan at the time, so they were all invited to like do their dance and maybe their that special song for the year at that event, and it was for NHK, so that was pretty amazing. I got to see some, and Yama usually sings a song in that group, which they're like Nanka 48 or something, or 46, something like that. Nanka meaning like something, yeah, 46 or 48 or something like that. But anyway, he always sings that song, and they were actually there, so I was like, oh, okay. And they do this dance, and it's just so funny, because me and Katie did the dance too, because it was just hilarious. But they just like keep like popping their chest, but it was just so funny because they just do it so much. And I just had like the best time with it when Yama was singing it at karaoke because they had the music video, and me and Katie just kept like imitating what they were doing. It was just so fun. But I mean, like when we go to karaoke, we always are dancing anyway because we're just stupid. Like, yeah, it's singing, but like when you're feeling a song or something, you start dancing, and that had the video, and we were just like mimicking what they were doing. We're Amane in them, and it was just like amazing, you know. But that was some time ago. So I did that, and after that, like she started to fall asleep, and I felt so bad. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. It was going on 11, and I was like, I hope you sleep in. She's like, oh no, I'll probably be up at 2, and I was like, oh my god, I should have left earlier. I should just told her no, because I feel so bad. I don't want her to be up at 2 and then not have any sleep, because no sleep is so bad for you. It's bad for your immune system. So I felt so bad, and I was like, oh. But she enjoyed herself. She said she had fun, and she liked that I came over. Obviously, everybody else didn't come over, so I guess if I didn't come over, that would have been that much more worse. Because then nobody would have ate her food at all. I felt so bad. You know, but I was just so glad that she invited me over. And then, New Year's resolution-wise, there was the one to start Twitch, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to start working on that as soon as I can. But the biggest thing this year is actually returning back to my Korean study. So I started studying Korean about 5 years ago. First learning like the characters and so forth and how to pronounce them. And then I moved on to doing Talk to Me in Korean, which is like the #1 thing that I want to say foreigners use to learn Korean. And I started Talk to Me in Korean.com, and I loved it 5 years ago, and I always really want to return to it and do it. Like, I was always enthused to just come back like after work, like, okay, we're gonna do this amount of lessons today, and like I just had fun with it. And but then I realized that I was coming back to Japan, and I was like, well, okay, inevitably I would come back to Japan. So I thought like maybe I shouldn't be doing Korean right now. So I was almost finished my Korean study with Talk to Me in Korean. Like I was at like level 9, and I was doing wonderful. I was looking at dramas because that's where I started like saying like maybe I should watch some dramas to see if I understand some stuff. And I was understanding like pretty much not everything, but a lot. And it was making me so happy because I felt like, wow, I came a long way in like a few months. Like, wow, you know? But then the inevitability of me coming back to Japan just made me think like maybe I should be doing Japanese. So then I stopped and I picked up my book that we did not finish here, and I went through it all by myself. The kanji book, I went through that all by myself, and that was my task, especially while I was like recovering from surgery during that time. And then I missed it. I really did. I really wanted to do Korean. Like I thought, like while I was studying Japanese, like man, I really want to do Korean. You know, I came here again, obviously, and then I wasn't able to use Japanese as much. And I have so many dreams, and one of them is learning as many languages as I can. I started learning Spanish in high school because it was kind of a thing that we all did anyway, and I did that for 4 years. I didn't get to study it as much, but I do know, like, if I wanted to learn Spanish, I could probably learn that pretty quickly, or fairly quickly, compared to, like, Japanese and Korean. So that's why I've been mainly focusing on Japanese and Korean. But I've not been able to use my Japanese to the best of my ability here. So far, obviously, as I said, I can't make two friends my age. My New Year's resolution for this year was, like, I'm just going to start doing Korean again. I also changed my Hello Talk to like Korean because like I want to see if I would be able to make Korean friends. That would help me decide also like what I want to do next too, because if I'm able to actually meet Korean people my age, then that would already be helpful in learning Korean since I want to learn many different languages to begin with. So I switched it, and like fairly quickly I started talking to a lot of different Korean people. Surprisingly, when I did it in Japanese, I would always ask people like, oh, if anybody wants a message or whatever, just please message me. Nobody would message me, but I said it like one time and I got like 5 different messages and 6. One actually lives in Japan, so we actually met up. So that was pretty fun. You'll get to see a video on that soon enough. But we went out to eat and so forth, and it was amazing. She was very nice. But my whole thing for this year is just like trying to figure out how good I can get in Korean, especially while I'm in Japan, and then just move on from there. I have so many languages I want to learn, and I can't waste time on just Japanese if I'm not going to like improve as much as I want to. If it's always going to be self-study, then I need to move on. But if I can find somebody to actually talk to and, you know, do that actual language exchange and actually become friends, you know, that's the only way I feel like at this point my Japanese is going to get any better. Or if I was able to use Japanese inside of a company. I'm an English teacher right now. There's like no Japanese, you know, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to improve my Korean this year, and I want to start Twitch. See you guys next time. Bye.